Enough?
You led into something. Past lives. Can I ask one question about past lives? What's the value of them? Because I know you don't like talking about them.
Well, we just said something to you really, 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 really important. We said to you, your inner being is looking only at where you are forward.
Understand. I'm referring to making the same mistakes, though. Not learning and making them again, so to avoid that.
Well, there are people who say that if you don't look at the past and examine it fully, then you will repeat the mistakes. But the opposite of that is true. It's looking there that causes you to hold yourself there. And don't you think that's a wonderful thing? Everything that we're talking about here today is about just accepting where you are as something wonderful, and then let the dreams and desires that have been born out of this receive your undivided attention, so that you will then romp forward in this really wonderful, good feeling experience, as compared to trying to explain how you got here, which may or may not be as good as you want it to be, by explaining what happened to get you there. And so don't you think that it is curious that when you got here you didn't remember any of that? And don't you think that if it had been something that would have been beneficial, that you would have remembered it? So does that mean that your inner being is not looking back at any of that? Yes, that's what that means. Your inner being is not looking at your past lives, because they are irrelevant, because you were born as the culmination of all that you garnered from all of that.
So it has been used. It's used to get to where we are now.
The past has served its purpose, and we want to say to you that even what you call the present has also. What you call the present conditional life, it served its purpose. The juice is all in the emotion between where you are and where you are wanting to be. Let us say it again. Everything that you want, no matter what it is, a material object, a pile of money, a state of being, a relationship with someone, a circumstance, an event, every single thing you want is because you believe you will feel better in the having of it. This is the sweet spot from where you are looking forward. And so, of course, everything that you have lived has caused you to be this. An example that may bring this into greater clarity for you is a man was complaining, beyond complaining, he was truly distraught about having lost his fortune, talking to us. And he explained that he was this many years old, and it had taken him, from his point of view, all that time to amass that fortune, and now it was gone. And he just could not imagine having enough time left in life to get it back, or to ever feel prosperous or good again. And we said to him, those manifestations don't mean anything. You may have lost some manifestations, but you have not lost your vibrational prowess. You cannot cease to be in this forward place where you stand, and most of all, your vortex cannot cease to be. So as long as there is a you still in your physical form and a vortex that is vibrationally pulsing, then everything that is necessary for you to accomplish everything that you want is still available to you, because your manifestations don't represent you well at all.
That's what they needed to hear, right?
Your current manifestations are not representing you well at all. They are paltry, puny representation of the small amount of well-being that you have allowed yourself to eke out.
Thank you.
Your vortex is where it's at. Another girl said to us, I've traveled from New York to California, and in the process someone broke into my car and stole my art portfolio. She was going to Hollywood so that she could paint. And she said, now I have nothing to show them. And we said, and we want each of you to hear it because we mean it emphatically for you too, your portfolio misrepresents who you are. She had stuff in there that she had painted 20 years before. That's not representative of the painter she is now. Most of what was in that portfolio, all of what was in that portfolio, misrepresented who she is now. We said, go and paint something. Show them who you now are. And that's what we want you to feel about yourselves. What is doesn't mean deadly squat. It's old news. But this vortex that you've created, that's where all of the juice is. And as you stand, aware that your inner being is aware of you and aware of all that you've become, and you just allow yourself to move in the direction of that, then life feels really good to you. And the stuff will come too. And people will be amazed at what you accomplish. And your assets will pile up until you try to get rid of them. In other words, there will be a time that we will hold seminars on demanifestation. How to let loose of all this stuff. You're going to get so good at it that anything that you say, there it is, 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 there it is. But then new desires come, like where to put it. So now you're building more garages, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. All of this magnificent stuff in existence for your creative genius. Yeah.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
it is. Yes, it is.